Welcome back to the Love to Mom podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jerry, and I'm joined by my out of this world mother, Christy.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast.
I didn't have an adjective picked out, so I'm really glad I was able to think of one on the fly.
I mean, right on the fly. Good job.
But as the title of this podcast insinuates, we are going to be talking about Dune. No, not that one. The David Lynch Dune from 1984. This is the last entry in our 6 Degrees marathon, where we pick one actor from the previous film and then pick another movie that they are in. I picked Kyle MacLachlan, who was previously in the Flintstones movie as the bad guy. And here he is as Paul Atreides in David Lynch's box office smash, Dune. Yeah. I want to start this. How much did you hate this movie?
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you asked.
I figured it was going to be a strong reaction.
I hate it so much. In fact, I was sitting here watching you had all these people to choose from. I set you up with a million options of people you could have chosen. Mm-hmm. And instead, you chose the absolute, I really think this may be the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire existence on this planet. Yeah. I hate it. Hate it. I can't overstate how much I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
There's so many reasons why.
Yeah, no,
wait a minute. And not only that, it was over 2 hours long. It wasn't like a hate watch that was an hour and 20 minutes. This was a hate watch that was over 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's
and not only was it stupid, it had a bunch of gross stuff in it. You know how I feel about that. It was not good. I did not like it. In fact, I keep a spreadsheet with my notes about the movie on it. And let me tell you what the headings were. One moment, please. I thought I had it pulled up, but I didn't. My heading is terrible parts. Mm-hmm. And my second heading was barfy parts. Okay. Like the parts that seriously grossed me out. So those were my 2 headings, terrible and barfy.
That sounds about right for this movie.
It was.
The gross stuff is what I did not remember.
Oh my gosh.
But I probably still would have picked it because I think it's fun to have it's fun to watch trash. And that's something that I've learned. That being said, and this is something I wrote in my little letterboxed review that I did this time. I've been on a roll of watching just the worst movies I've ever seen. Because I went from watching the new Fantastic Four movie, which I hated,
yes,
to watching Gamer for the Boy Time podcast, which I also hated.
I don't know anything about that one.
That makes sense.
Okay, keep going. You can finish your thought and then tell me what it is.
And then finishing it up with Dune. All of those are my own fault. I wasn't forced to, watch any of these. I think I don't know if I picked Gamer. I think it was a collective thing that me and Babby picked. The only reason we did that is because a couple times ago when he was in town, we went to Electric Fetus and there was a DVD that just said Gamer on it and it was $2. And I'm like, well, obviously I gotta get Gamer. And I think the tagline is just unleash him. And I'm like, okay, that's funny. So then we watched it and it's a really, really, really bad movie. And so naturally on the Love to Mom podcast, I'm like, let's also do Dune, which is a movie I've seen before and I know that I hate, but let's do it anyways because it's fun sometimes. I forgot how long it was. That's my bad.
Yeah, you were like, it's a short movie. And I was like, great, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to watch it this afternoon. And then I saw over 2 hours. I was like, that is not short. That is not short at all.
Believe it or not, that is the cut down version of the movie. We'll just jump into that. I think
let's do it
right away. Because the movie is 2 hours and 16 minutes long. That was a studio mandate. There was a TV release for cable a little bit afterwards that was 3 hours long. That was a re-edit by Dino De Laurentiis and his company. David Lynch is not even listed. He's not credited on that cut. It's written directed by Alan Smithy, which is a famous pseudonym that was used. I don't think it's used anymore. But in like the 80s and 90s, if a director was so embarrassed of a movie they didn't want to be associated with it anymore, it was very common for people to use Alan Smithy. So that cut is credited to Alan Smithy because David Lynch didn't want to be associated with it. And he also, this is his only movie that he didn't get final cut for, which afterwards he said is something that he's never, ever going to do again. And I think that is true. I think going forward, he had final cut for all of his movies that came out afterwards. He's basically said that the making of this movie is a nightmare. It took 3 years from start to finish. And like this completely turned him off of making like Hollywood movies for the rest of his career. Like if it wasn't for this movie being such a big flop, we might have gotten more like mainstream David Lynch movies, which is a universe I don't really want to live in. I'm not like the biggest fan of his in general, but like he's such a singular voice. It would be a real shame if there were more Dunes out there. I'll just say that. But that's some of the like the behind the scenes stuff. Let's talk about the movie itself. We don't really need to go over the story because it's Dune. Pretty much everyone knows the story of Dune. The Atreides are the good guys, the Harkonnens are the bad guys, and hilarity ensues, I guess. I think it'll be kind of interesting because we'll be able to kind of compare this to the new one. You saw the first part, you have not seen the second part.
Right, that's right.
I've seen both, and I really like both of them. I think Denis Villeneuve, the writer-director for both of those, I think that, honestly, I think he is like the next great American director, even though he's Canadian.
I didn't know that.
I think he's Canadian. I think he's French-Canadian. His name's Denis Villeneuve. So
I mean, very French sounding for sure.
Yeah. But like, I honestly think that like the legacy of his is going to be so great. Even though most of his movies flop, except for the most recent Dune stuff. But it's so funny to compare this take of Dune to that one because they are entirely different. You can tell the things that David Lynch really gravitated to with the Dune IP and the stuff that Villeneuve really did. Villeneuve liked the stuff that works, and David Lynch liked the weird stuff. So,
oh man.
I don't even really know where to start with this. I guess we can start with the fact that everyone is talking all the time. They're constantly explaining what is going on, which is like maybe that's the thing that like ruins this movie for me. Not that it's great anyways, but like it's just constantly talking. It's constant exposition, like trying to patch up things. And part of that might be due to the fact that scenes were cut or whatever. So they have to throw like inner monologue lines in to explain what people are thinking. And it's like the most on the nose stuff where it's like Sting as Fade Routha, who's played by Austin Butler in the new ones. And he is absolutely phenomenal. But Sting like kills somebody. And then he's like, I wish that this was Paul Atreides. And I'm like, you don't need that. Like, we understand that this guy's a crazy guy who likes killing Atreides people. Like, that's something that isn't patching something. That's just, like, it's extra information that we didn't need, and it just takes up time and attention. Like, you didn't need to do that.
And it's cheesy. It's just
cheesy.
incredibly cheesy.
It is.
To have this inner monologue of every character that's in the room. It's like, oh my gosh, this is awful. I mean, like, it just felt so campy.
Yes.
It felt bad on purpose, and I don't think it was meant to be bad.
No.
But it's like every I'm trying to think, like, satirical isn't the word I'm going for, but like movies where they purposefully make them bad.
Yeah.
And that's what that felt like. It was awful. Terrible.
It does. It does feel
I mean, I
like
can't
that.
even say how many times. I'm going to have to come up with a bunch of synonyms for the word awful.
That is fair.
I hated your guts for making me watch this movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting
I just cannot even say. Okay, but keep going.
Well, I don't I'm more interested in like what didn't. I mean, I'm sure we'll agree on a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave this movie 1 star. I think, and honestly, like, I think in the like public consciousness, that's even low. Like, there's been a modern kind of reappreciation of this movie, which doesn't really make sense to me because I think it's incoherent. Like, if you are unaware of the Dune story, I think you would be utterly lost, especially in the like last 45 minutes. Like, as soon as like Paul meets up with the Fremen and then like he starts like leading them, that's all super rushed. And like if you don't really know where the story is going, I don't really know if you'll be able to follow like what's going on. Or like he and Chani, who's Zendaya in the new movie, but like they meet in one scene and then the next scene they're smooching and then they're in love. And it's like, okay, so that entire relationship, which is like crucial to this character in the story, is like kind of glossed over. And that character, like Chani, is given nothing. Like that.
Yeah, I agree. And I was lost because while
Yeah.
I have seen the first one and I haven't seen the second one, I don't remember much about the first one, hardly at all. So I did feel like I was going in cold, and I had a really hard time following that. And also, it was kind of fun because I was watching it and I didn't even think that she was familiar to me. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that's Sean Young
Oh, yeah.
from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. That's what I know her from. Anyway, that was funny.
There's a lot of like, we could talk about the cast of this because I think that the cast and crew, we're going to talk about music.
Oh, okay.
Did you catch who did the score?
No, I didn't.
Okay, it's in opening credits, and I forgot that this was Toto does the score.
What?
Not only that, and I don't know if this name means anything to you, but the main theme was composed by Brian Eno. Do you know who Brian Eno? Okay.
Yep.
Like ambient music, like God, like an absolute legend in that like field, does the theme with like electric, really like distorted electric guitars, and like Toto comes in with like the chorus, and I'm like, this feels so weird, like completely out of place.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of like where this modern reappreciation comes from is like the music. Because I think there has been like maybe people who just like go back to the soundtrack. It's like, okay, actually the music's pretty good. But like in the movie, like they're riding on the giant sandworms and then like those 80s rock guitars come in. Like this is just so out of place. Like this is supposed to be like this space epic. And, you know, 80s rock and roll is not what I had in mind.
No,
but,
I agree. Yeah. There was just not one single, I mean, I don't even know what to say. There was not even one thing that I thought, oh, that's great. Okay, I'll tell you what I did appreciate.
Yeah, let's start with positives.
I appreciated seeing Patrick Stewart because I like him.
Sure.
And then I read that he didn't even want Patrick Stewart, and then I was sad. Because they thought they were hiring the other guy that was auditioning. They hired the wrong guy. I'm like, well, that's like one of the few things I actually liked about this movie, and that was a mistake for you. I liked seeing Dean Stockwell again.
Yeah, I forgot that he was in this.
I know. He just keeps popping up in things that surprise me every time. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Sting, that was fun. And I did know Sting was in it. Just as a happy little tidbit, that part where he's wearing the little swimsuit, he was going to do it naked. And he was willing to do it naked, but someone else was like, no. So he didn't.
Yeah.
But he was willing.
I think the studio, and this is the most bizarre thing. I think, well, because it came out in 84, that would have been like right around peak Star Wars. Like, I think a year after Return of the Jedi, because I think Return of the Jedi came out in 83. Which, fun
82
fact,
or 83, something like that, yeah.
David Lynch was offered Return of the Jedi. Did you know that?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Thank goodness he didn't take it.
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, you're correct. I don't think a David Lynch Star Wars movie would be good.
Yeah.
But there's this really funny video. I guess I could insert the clip here, but I think it's just better to watch the whole thing. It's this like panel. I don't know where it is, but it's David Lynch talking about when he met George Lucas, and George Lucas was kind of like running him like through the universe because David Lynch doesn't watch movies, so he didn't really know what Star Wars was. So he goes like out to George Lucas's like ranch, and the whole like framing structure of this story is like I keep getting like I go out and I meet George, and he starts telling me about Wookiees, and a little bit of a headache starts. And it's just like, as like more details about Star Wars are revealed, it's just like, I'm getting a pounding migraine at this point. And I think that it's funny. Like, I think it's hilarious that David Lynch has that reaction. But I also am like, are you familiar with your own work? Because you have the same amount as like of like nonsense, weirdo, like sci-fi stuff, especially in like Twin Peaks, where there's just like weird random words that are like, oh yeah, it's like a dual spirit. That there's a clone of a guy because his spirit is trapped in the red room. But then there's this like dummy guy, and there's like 3 people that are sharing one soul. And I'm like, how are you complaining about like an alien species just called Wookiees? I don't understand that. But it's a funny video where he's like going through this day he had with George Lucas.
Well, I suppose, I mean, he was basing this one off a book, so he had some source material. It's a little bit different than doing Star Wars, but...
Yeah, and I think, and this is another thing, I don't think David Lynch had read Dune before Dino De Laurentiis, like, basically offered it to him, which Dino De Laurentiis is a entirely different conversation. Do you know Dino De Laurentiis?
I don't know him. I did see things when I was looking at the stuff, like the behind-the-scenes stuff, about the fact that he kind of kneecapped David Lynch, and he made all the decisions and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't really know much about him other than that. I saw he's a producer because his name kept coming up. I'm like, who the heck is this dude? Do you know if he's related to Giada De Laurentiis, the lady who cooks?
Oh, I don't know.
She has a Food Network show.
I don't know.
I need to know that.
I don't know if they're related.
I should have looked that up.
But like, I think Dino De Laurentiis' brother was also a producer working with him, and his son, I don't know if you caught that, the movie is dedicated to him. It's like Francisco De Laurentiis. It was his son. He died like really tragically. He was 26, died in a plane crash. And so like I saw that and I assumed it was his dad or something. But then when I looked into it, I'm like, oh, that's actually really sad. Really sad. And what a terrible way to tribute your son, I think, to like, here's, we're dedicating Dune 1984 to you. I just think that's like the extra kind of kick in the shin, really, that whole situation.
Oh.
But Dino De Laurentiis himself, kind of an interesting guy, served in the Italian army during World War II. So there's that.
Not great.
Not great.
No,
But
not
like,
great at all.
a super prolific producer, especially
Okay.
in the 70s and 80s, did stuff like, let me just look at his stuff. I know, like he did La Strada, Flash Gordon. I think he did like the Halloween 2 and 3. He did a lot of the like Amityville sequels. Not like, Barbarella. He did like not quite A-level stuff, but like B-level stuff that people have heard about.
Yeah, I watched Flash Gordon a million times when I was a kid. I can definitely see similarities here
Oh, especially with
because it
the
was also
score.
campy and horrible. Yes.
It's like they got Queen for
Yeah.
Flash Gordon and got Toto for whatever Dune. Oh, he also made Serpico. Like, I don't know. He's done like some very prolific guy. And he's kind of a character. Like hearing him talk, he's a very animated guy. But yeah, I think the story is that like I think the studio was making a lot of the demands, and Dino De Laurentiis like sided with the studio instead of like kind of sticking up for your director, which is what a producer should do.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. Because when I wrote down the producer name, it said Raffaella. Does he just go by Dino, or is that somebody different?
That might be, yeah, Raffaella
looking
De
here.
Laurentiis. That might be.
Sister? Okay.
I don't know if that's his sister or wife.
Okay.
Or daughter.
This is
I don't know.
this is what Wikipedia is giving me.
Okay.
So it says that Veronica De Laurentiis is the daughter of Silvana Maggiano and Dino De Laurentiis, and sister of film producer Raffaella De Laurentiis.
Okay, so it's his daughter.
So Dino and Raffaella are brothers. Okay, but okay, they're brothers, but I thought it said that Raffaella was the one that was a producer. Am I wrong?
Well, that's what
Or
it
is it Dino?
says. That's what it says on IMDb.
Okay.
I think Raffaella is Dino's daughter, which I think that's something that he did with Francisco, the one that the movie's dedicated to, where like he would essentially be the producer, but then get his kids to have like the
Oh.
credit.
I did not realize that it was a woman.
Yeah,
I'm just seeing that. Okay.
you're gonna get canceled.
So Dino credited her. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if that's the case, but I know that like he's kind of the studio head. He was in charge.
Okay.
He was basically the producer. His name is like listed twice in the like opening credits, but he isn't listed as an executive producer.
That's really confusing.
Yeah, there's like a lot of this stuff when you look at like B movies from this era. Even though this isn't a B movie, I think it was released by like, was it Fox or something? Like it's a major blockbuster movie.
Oh.
I should have looked at the studio. Wow, it has a 6.3 on IMDb. That's kind of crazy.
Are people going to hate my guts because I hate this movie so bad?
No. Well, I mean, if they do, they're gonna hate me
is-
too because I hate it.
Is this beloved? Like, do
No.
people love this movie?
No,
Okay.
absolutely. No, it flopped. Like this is like a huge stain on David Lynch's legacy, kind of.
Oh. Okay.
This is like the one movie that people don't talk about when it's like, oh, remember David Lynch movies? They're so great. But we don't talk about Dune.
Is it among film bros too? Like
Yeah.
film bros don't like it either? 'Cause
Nobody likes this movie.
I could see people being like, oh no, there's value in the blah, blah, blah. Okay.
No, nobody likes this.
Okay.
It's a giant.
It's not a hot take,
No,
is what you're telling me.
No, it's a dumpster fire. There's
Got it.
basically nothing that's good about it.
Okay.
Except there are like people who appreciate like some of the more like artistic stuff. Like the practical effects are actually pretty dang good.
Mm,
Like a lot of the giant like monster in the tank at the beginning, like that was like
mm,
really super well
sure.
done. Like it's a nice animatronic. There's like a lot of stuff to appreciate on like the production side of things.
Hmm.
It's just everything surrounding it is awful. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, this I don't know. It almost feels like this movie is too big of an undertaking. Like I don't really know where to attack this thing from. Like I don't I guess
I
let's
don't
talk
even know where to start.
let's talk about the cast because I think that
Okay.
this is like one of the more interesting things to talk about with this movie. Let's get the David Lynch stuff out of the way first. This is
Okay.
where Kyle MacLachlan and David Lynch met,
Hmm.
who, of course, would go on to collaborate many times with like Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks and everything.
Hmm.
Um, so, like, I do like that this is where the relationship started. I think it's a great relationship. I think Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks are like amazing.
Hmm.
So that's a nice thing. Everett McGill was in this movie, then went on to be in Twin Peaks. Uh, what's his name? Oh, why can't I think of it? Jack Nance. Jack
Mm.
Nance was in Eraserhead. He's in this. I think he's in Blue Velvet too, and he's also in Twin Peaks. He's like a David Lynch regular. I'll never see him as anything other than Pete. I think that's his name. It's been a minute since I've seen Twin Peaks, but
Yeah.
he's the he's the best character in Twin Peaks because he's just a
Hmm.
fisherman, and
Yeah.
he's just a nice old boy, and he's like,
Aw.
oh, I think like not the first time you meet him, but the first time that Kyle MacLachlan's character meets him in Twin Peaks, he gives Kyle MacLachlan coffee, and he's like, I accidentally put a herring in the percolator. And I'll never forget how he says that.
Ah,
Um,
that's funny.
but those are the like
Oh,
David Lynch kind of nods. I guess the other one, Jose Ferrer, who plays the Emperor.
I
Um,
researched him. You go ahead.
well, I don't know like much about him, so I'm glad you did some
Mm.
research. But I
Hmm.
think his son, which I hate when dark mode doesn't work on IMDb, but I think his son ended up being in Twin Peaks. So there's that kind of
Mm.
connection.
Hmm.
Um, so that's kind of interesting. There's that. There's Sting, obviously. I don't know why
Yep.
he's in this. Uh,
Yeah, that was an interesting choice. Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I
I,
don't know.
I think there's a lot of like interesting choices. Yeah,
Feels kind of random. Yeah.
I didn't know that Patrick Stewart wasn't like supposed to be in this.
Mm-mm.
I think it's weird. Did you notice like when they reunite, they give him longer hair?
I did notice that.
Okay, that was the
Yes.
weirdest choice I may have ever seen.
Yes.
Like, why would you give him?
Well,
Because
and
he,
he's young.
well,
Like
yeah,
Patrick Stewart was bald. And I've heard him talk about it many, many times about how he bald when he was very, very young.
yeah,
And so, unfortunately, that's kind of hard when you're an actor and you don't have any hair. And that was the thing. They were like, "Oh, this guy doesn't have any hair."
yeah.
So I don't
So
know.
they give him the like the sides, but then they make the
Yeah.
sides long, like shoulder
Ooh.
length, and I'm like, that's not a look. I don't know why you would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Oh. Oh, dang it. What's his name from The Exorcist? Gus? No, not. Uh. I'm terrible at this. Max von Sydow is in this movie for absolutely no reason.
Mm-hmm.
He is like absolutely phenomenal in The Exorcist. And I think he's actually decent with what he's given here. But
Mm-hmm.
he plays Dr. Kynes, who is
Mm.
I actually don't know her name in the new movie who plays that character, but they like gender swapped her over to
Mm.
I think she's like a black lady um in the new one, but it
Okay.
doesn't really matter. She dies like immediately, like
Yeah.
Max von Sydow does. And then you already mentioned Dean Stockwell.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was driving me crazy. I'm like, I know that guy. I just saw something that he was in, and I'm like, oh,
Yep.
Paris, Texas, of course.
Paris, Texas.
So that's another kind of connection to another movie that we did on this show not too long ago.
Yes. Not too long ago at all. No.
But I think that's it. Oh, Brad Dourif, he plays evil man who poisons. Do you know who Brad Dourif is?
I mean, here's the thing. When I watched the movie, there were a million people that were that guys to me. But when I went to look at IMDb, they showed them as old men, and I had a hard time because the names are all weird. I had a hard time figuring out who was who.
Sure.
So I don't. So tell me who he is.
He's the guy with the big eyebrows.
Okay. Yes. Oh my gosh. I see that. He was my biggest that guy.
Yeah.
Of all the guys, he was my biggest that guy, and I could not figure out what he's from. So tell me what he's from.
Well, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I think most people, I don't know about most people. He's the voice of Chucky and has been for as long as they've been making Chucky movies. According to IMDb, Dune is one of his most known for movies.
No.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
But also he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which I actually did not know. There is an Exorcist connection because he is the main bad guy in Exorcist 3. That's kind of funny. I don't know. If you look through, he has 175 acting credits. So
well, that's why he's that guy.
Yeah. He's in something that you've seen.
Yes, he is in something I've seen. For sure. I cannot think of what it is, which always drives me crazy. But
yeah, I'm looking. I don't know. If any of these, you've seen them. Well,
it's probably some
horror
random.
movies.
Well, and I don't watch those.
Yeah,
so
that's
it
why
can't
I'm
be
like,
that. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I just peeked. Giada De Laurentiis from the Food Network is the granddaughter of Dino.
Okay, interesting.
That is interesting. I know.
She's a Nepo grandbaby.
She's a Nepo. Well, and her mom was also famous. His daughter was an actress.
Oh, okay.
Veronica, I think is her name. Veronica De Laurentiis.
Oh.
Yeah, Veronica De Laurentiis. She was an actress and producer. But I don't know what she was in right now because I don't want to sit and read this. But anyway, yes. She is his granddaughter.
That is interesting.
I know.
I
Can I tell you a little bit? No, go. Go.
Well, I found something kind of interesting about Brad
Yes,
Dourif.
please.
He was in Blue Velvet after this.
Okay.
And he was also, immediately after this, he was in a Toto music video. So there you go. There's two little connections.
They became friends.
That's kind of fun.
That's very nice.
But what were you going to say?
Oh, I wanted to say something about Jose Ferrer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Jose Ferrer. He, one moment, was married to Rosemary Clooney. From White Christmas. He won an Oscar for playing Cyrano de Bergerac, and he is the first Hispanic actor to win an Oscar in history.
Cool.
And he, because he was married to Rosemary Clooney, is George Clooney's uncle.
Oh, interesting.
I know. Rosemary Clooney was his aunt, was George Clooney's aunt.
Huh.
Yeah. And so Jose Ferrer was married to her, and he won an Oscar. He's one of 10 people who've won an Oscar and a Tony for playing the same role.
Oh, sure.
I thought that was interesting. Anyway, this was like not a high point of his career.
Oh, no.
I will say.
Well, no, yeah, obviously.
But he said he liked it. But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
That's kind of rare. I never hear positive stories about the making of this movie.
I don't know.
Everybody who made it hates this.
I mean, he didn't say it was the best time ever, but it didn't seem like he hated it. Hated it.
Yeah, I mean, he's barely in it.
And he's old. Maybe he was just happy to have work at this point, because he's an old guy. I don't know.
And you get to you get to be paid to hang around David Lynch, and like that's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine it was probably pretty cool to be on the set and see all the
oh yeah,
practical effects and all the things, because like, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm looking at it and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, this is after Return of the Jedi.
yes,
And to me, these effects are so much worse than
yes,
Return of the Jedi. I don't understand the different. Well, I mean, theirs was a huge hit. I mean, obviously, Star Wars had a huge budget because they had already been a proven hit.
yeah.
But like, yikes! Those when they're wearing those little box suits when they're fighting, I'm
Oh,
like, that is the worst.
that's okay. Yeah, let's talk about the shields. I
Yeah,
think that
talk
that's
about
like
that.
the most disorienting part of this
Oh
whole movie.
boy. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the shields in the Villeneuve version. They are like
Mm-mm.
so minimalist and like
Mm.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like it's genius because they
Yeah.
turn them on and then it like flickers for a second and then you don't see it unless the blade hits and there's like a
Oh.
blue thing that kind of like shows up, and then if the blade penetrates then it like flashes red, and that's it.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
super minimalist and like awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In this, they turn into like Minecraft people.
Oh,
Um,
great analogy. That is right. Minecraft.
which
That's it.
which is like a shocking decision. What's interesting about that is this was before any sort of like digital effects. So I believe it was all rotoscoped, and then they had to like use a ruler and a pencil to literally draw
Oh
all
my
the lines.
goodness.
It was this super like it was a huge expensive effect because it took so much time to go over every single frame and paint those terrible,
Mm.
terrible looking shields
Yes. Yes.
where you
I
can't even
wonder.
tell.
I mean, do you think that I don't know because I never watched this when I was younger, but do you think people were like, "Whoa,
No.
that's amazing"? Okay.
No, this is like, and I do kind of think that sometimes with like 80s movies where like the
Mm-hmm.
visual effects are like obviously terrible. Where like, I think the same thing about like Tron. I'm like, were people blown away at Tron? And then like you go back and then you see like people were like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Mm.
So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so that's timelessly bad.
Right.
So I think like that was a big thing where it was like the action scenes. Nobody can tell what's happening because it's just these giant blocks that are like
Mm-mm.
mashing into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the part where like Paul kind of like gets the knife through the shield and then like Patrick Stewart has his knife also. Like you can barely tell that that's like what's happening because the like shield part is like all around it. So like
That's
you
right.
have no frame of reference on like where the
Mm-mm.
actual like placement of the knives are, because if they zoomed out, you wouldn't be able to like get a good read of the positions of their
Mm-mm.
bodies or anything.
Right.
It's a baffling decision. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, they only show up a couple times, and I think it's because of how expensive it was. But
Mm.
also, like, can you imagine a whole movie looking like that? Every
No.
single action scene, it would be the
Mm-mm.
worst.
Mm-hmm.
So
Even worse than it is now.
it would be even worse than it is now. Um, yeah,
Oh
the
man.
shields, it's bad. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh
Which
man.
I think is a shame because personally, I think that the shield aspect of Dune is one of the more interesting parts of that
Mm.
world.
Mm-hmm.
The like whole premise being is that there are these personal shields that are developed for like all the soldiers in your army. The thing about them is that like if you shoot someone with like an actual projectile, it bounces off. If you were to like actually hit somebody with something, then it won't work. You have to like do it slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And also like those shields are the reason that like lasers aren't really a thing in Dune, because lasers react to the shields and explode and kill everybody. So
Oh.
basically like nobody uses shields anymore. That's why it's mostly hand-to-hand combat, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
for like for making sci-fi melee combat like realistic, that's like the best explanation you can give. Where it's like there's this technology that like if you use anything else but melee combat, it doesn't work. And so like I love that aspect of the Dune universe, especially in the new movies where like everyone's flipping around and doing cool sword fights. It's like that's awesome. Like that's like one of the main complaints that like you know smart people have for Star Wars, where it's like if you have a gun that shoots lasers that kills everybody in one shot, why would anybody bother with a laser sword that swings around?
Sure.
Which is a dumb point because it's a fantasy thing and who cares?
Yeah.
You're just sucking the fun out. But for something like Dune that's trying to take itself really, really seriously, it like makes perfect sense for why you would want to be engaged in close quarters combat. I love that. And this movie does it no justice, which is a shame. But let's talk a little bit about the story. We won't go too far into it, but I think it's interesting the choices that David Lynch makes in how he combines, well, not combines, how he just adapts this giant book into, I guess, theoretically a 3-hour movie that was cut to 218. Like it's kind of shocking. I don't know if you remember where the part 1 of Dune ends. It's right around when Paul meets the Fremen. So
Okay.
basically the last half an hour of this movie was expanded into a 3-hour long epic last year or a couple years ago.
Well, and my understanding is that it was extremely well received.
Yes.
The first one, so I remember watching it and thinking not a lot happens. That didn't bother me though. Like I enjoyed it a lot. And I know some people were like, well, where's the action? Where's the, but it truly was like setting you up for the world building. Like there's so much world building that has to happen. And because they aren't like narrating every single thing that happens through voiceover, you have to watch it unfold. And like they assume that the audience is somewhat intelligent and can figure out what is happening. And and I think the amount of voiceover and narration of this one is condescending to your audience to think that, like, I don't know. I felt like, and visually it was gorgeous. Like I loved the first one. So it's not, I didn't not see the second one because I didn't like the first one. I did. I just never made it to the theater to see it.
It's
I
a
feel
long
like,
one.
well, and I think part of my issue is as I've gotten older, I realize I'm sitting in a squeaky chair. Can you hear it? So my problem is as I've gotten older, my memory isn't as good. And so what I would need to do before I could watch the second one is rewatch the first one again. So it's more of a time
And that's
commitment.
a lot.
It's a lot because the first one was long. So
Yes.
I just didn't get to it. So
Yeah, I did do that when the new one came out, and there's a podcast, Boy Time podcast episode. I think I just called it Dune Week. So if you want to like get my thoughts on everything Dune, that was the first time I watched this movie. Where I watched Jodorowsky's Dune, which we won't really talk about, but it is kind of interesting. Before David Lynch was given the rights to make Dune, it was originally given to, I don't know this guy's first name. Jodorowsky. His first name is Alejandro Jodorowsky.
all right.
Who is a Mexican filmmaker, most known for making what are called acid westerns, which are basically exactly what they sound like. Westerns made by guys on psychedelics, which means they don't really make sense. But he was originally given the rights. I don't know if like Frank Herbert signed off on it, but like it's this like crazy tale because there's like a lot of like interesting people that were involved in this project, where the concept art was done by H.R. Giger, which do you know who that is?
Okay. I don't.
He was like this. I love his art. his stuff is like super weird, cyber dystopian.
Mm.
He did all of the concept art for Alien, so
Okay.
that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing the concept art for this Jodorowsky's Dune. Also, Salvador Dali was involved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like this weird
That's
collection of
cool.
all of these like eclectic artists that were coming together and making this Dune thing. It probably would have sucked as well, but like it's an interesting story about these
Uh-huh.
like artists getting together. But I watched that documentary, I watched this version of Dune, and then I watched part one of the Villeneuve, and then went and saw part two in theaters.
Wow.
Which I actually I enjoyed it. It was
Mm-hmm.
fun. Um, I think watching the David Lynch Dune before part two was a bad decision,
Mm.
because it kind of spoils it. But the ending of those adaptations are vastly different, and
Mm.
I think the David Lynch Dune does the story of Dune of a vast disservice
Mm.
because and this is like, I guess, spoilers for Dune, but it's a 50-year-old story, whatever. But at the end of this movie, Paul Atreides is essentially like a hero, where he like
Mm-hmm.
kind of saves the Fremen, takes back Arrakis and kicks the Emperor out, and kills Fade Routha, and then he's like this big hero. That's not what Dune is about. Like,
Mm.
the original point of Dune is to show like how false messiahs can rise, and like how highly charismatic people can like influence people to gain power, and then that
Mm.
power will slowly corrupt and like take away like the light in them. So like that's the entirety of Dune Part 2, is like we see in the beginning where like he's starting this like little rebellion among the Fremen, and it's like it starts off and it's really kind of interesting because it's like he's fighting against the Harkonnens and he's winning, and the more he's winning, the more the Harkonnens are worried about it, but that also kind of builds his reputation among the Fremen. And
Mm-hmm.
this is something that's also kind of brought up in this version of Dune, where like the Bene Gesserit, which are the witches, they have like
Mm-hmm.
they've planted prophecies all over the universe of this one the chosen one, essentially. It was like fake. It was this like manufactured thing. And it was like supposed to happen like 2 generations after. They had like this grand plan where one of the witches was going to give birth to a male son, which they
Mm-hmm.
don't do. Apparently, they can choose.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it seemed like.
They can choose, I guess, but it's because Lady Jessica wanted to give Leto Atreides a son,
Mm-hmm.
that like essentially the prophecy is rushed. And so
Mm.
like he has all of the markers of this prophecy because of like basically the Bene Gesserit like knew exactly what was going to happen. And so like there's this prophecy going on in Dune Part 2 where like he's starting to believe the prophecy, and the more he starts to believe it, the more that raises his ego, the more he kind
Mm.
of like distances himself from like the good natured intentions of like this original rebellion. It's like brilliant how
Hmm.
that like adaptation is done. And so then like by the end of it, like when he kind of becomes like a bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
it really feels like conflicting within us of being like,
Mm.
I thought this guy was a good guy. We followed him through an entire like through 2.5 hour movie, and then like an hour and a half of him being a good guy, and then like it's just like slight chipping away of that personality until with this new one, assumedly the last Denis Villeneuve Dune movie, it's just going to be him as just a straight up bad guy, which I
Mm.
think is going to be like this is going to be an awesome trilogy if he can stick the landing.
Yeah.
But like this, it doesn't do anything with that premise. It's just him becoming like a superhero who saves the
Mm-hmm.
world and gets the girl, and I'm like, it's so lame. And
Yeah, there's no message to it. Like,
No.
if the whole message of the book is to talk about how power corrupts and you don't do that,
Yeah.
you've just basically taken all the teeth out of the original work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to like put all the blame on David Lynch, obviously,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
he's super talented at getting messages across, but
Mhm.
they're usually hidden under like 3 layers of weird nothingness. Um, but like he has like intention to his stuff. There's like
Mhm.
things that he's like deliberately trying to put in there to get messages across. I don't think that this was necessarily his decision to have this movie end this way or have this
Yeah.
adaptation go out the way that it did. It is just super disappointing for the first like major adaptation, and for a long time the only adaptation,
Mhm.
to completely miss the point.
Right.
It's very, very disappointing. Um,
Mhm.
and I guess I should also say I'm not like a huge Dune fan. I know that I watched like all of them at once. I just really like the new movies, and I think that they're like brilliant. But like I haven't
Yeah,
read
I
the
do too.
books or anything. Because I mean I've heard the first one is good, and then it just kind of like degrades in quality
Mm.
over time. Um, to where I think like eventually like he becomes essentially like space Hitler. I was talking to uh one of our cousins
Mm.
about it because he's
Mhm.
super into Dune, and
Yeah.
he hates the new movies, which I think is hilarious.
Oh.
Um, but I did ask him, I'm like, what do you think of the David Lynch one? He's like, Just as bad." And I'm like, that's a crazy take. To say to say that both of the Dune adaptations are of equal quality is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I
um,
agree 100%.
but he was also telling me that like Duncan Idaho, which is a character that isn't really in this version. He's in one scene and then he dies immediately. But he's
Mhm.
Jason Momoa in the new
Mm.
one. So he's
Yeah.
like he's Paul Atreides' friend. Like he's kind of like a advisor to Leto Atreides, like in the
Mm.
army. An important guy, but he does die in the book. I think like Paul Atreides like brings him back and then like keeps resurrecting him over and over again, and then like it's weird. It gets like weird. And I was
This
like,
whole thing is you really have to, I don't know. Like, science fiction isn't my genre of choice.
sure,
So for me, it's like I feel like sometimes people who are into science fiction, there is kind of a shorthand to some things
yeah,
where if this is what you watch all the time, some of this stuff may have made sense where it didn't make as much sense to me. But
I don't know. A lot
no.
of Dune doesn't really make sense,
Mm.
or like it's so dense, and I think
Mhm.
that's what's so hard about it. Like there's a lot of stuff in the Villeneuve versions of Dune that were, it's not that they weren't there, it's just they were like underplayed. Where
Mhm.
like that giant monster that talks to the emperor, like
Mhm.
that's in the book, and I don't think they're in either of the Dune movies. But like essentially what those are is that those are like that's a human. Like that is
Oh.
essentially that's a human that's been exposed to so much spice over a vast amount of time that it has like mutated them to being like
Mm.
semi-aquatic. But basically they have like foresight, because when you travel faster than light, you can't like there's planets and stuff in the way. And if you don't
Mm.
know exactly the straight line to go, you're going to hit something. And so
Mm.
these navigators essentially have like foresight, and they can like see all of the different paths that are possible and pick the best possible one to get there.
Mm.
And so that's what they are. They're barely brought up in the Villeneuve version. I don't think we see them, but it's been a minute since I've seen the movies.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that's what the Villeneuve version does really, really well, is that they take the like weird aspects of this universe, and then like they don't treat them like they're weird. And that's something that like I really find like important when it comes to like a more fantastical setting, It's
Mm-hmm.
why I don't like a lot of Marvel movies, is because there's often that like wink or the little tongue in cheek stuff where it's like,
Mm.
we kind of get that it's kind of silly. Like we're in on the joke. I'm like, just play it
Mm-hmm.
straight. That's
Mm.
why like the James Gunn superhero movies work really well, is because he treats all of the fantastical stuff like it's real, and nobody in the movie treats it like it's anything but their reality. And
Mm-hmm.
so as an audience member, we're allowed to fully get like what is it? The suspense of disbelief, where
Yeah.
like we are fully ingrained in this world, even if it's unrealistic, even if it's goofy and silly, even if the
Mm-hmm.
Green Lantern has the worst haircut I've ever seen. I'm
Hot
still
take.
No, that's not a hot take. I don't know why they made him look like that. Um, it's like we're still allowed to be in this universe, and we're
Yeah.
able to give like a little bit more leeway in, but like this is the one that really pisses me off, and I bring it up all the time. So sorry if I've said this before, but my least favorite Marvel moment with that is it's in the third Marvel Spider-Man movie. That's the one where they bring back all of the like old, like the Spider-Man from the Tobey Maguire, like
Mm.
they bring him back and like all of his villains, and they bring back Andrew Garfield and all of his villains. And like that movie is really good. And I like that it kind of wraps up the arcs of those different characters. But like when they meet Doc Ock, he says, "My name is Otto Octavius." And then Zendaya and Tom Holland and Ned, sorry, something Babylon, whatever,
Mm.
they all laugh. They're like, "No, but for real though, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Don't do that. That is the
Mm.
like as the death
Mm-hmm.
nail for every single superhero movie, because I don't like that's his name.
Yeah.
It's a funny name because
Mm-hmm.
Stan Lee likes alliterations, and
Yes.
that's fine. That's
It's
fine.
fine.
It's fine. You don't have to do that. And there's like a lot of moments like that in that
Mm.
movie where they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, this Spider-Man villain has a funny name or a funny outfit." I'm like, "I know that, but don't treat it like that." Like it's this like it's what sorry. I I keep going on these like tangents where I'm so mad about Marvel, where I'm like, guys, have fun for once in your life. Like, can we please get out of the real world for 1 second? Like,
Yeah.
they make all of their suits look like just generic soldiers, and like they take all of the fun characters and they make them real people. And I'm like, this is not what we're here for.
Mm.
And like, that's the one thing I'll give this version of Dune.
Mm-hmm.
David Lynch likes weird stuff, and he
Oh
puts a
man.
lot of weird stuff in there. And that's the stuff that I like.
Oh
Like,
no, really? You like the weird stuff?
yes,
I
yes.
hate the weird stuff. I hate the weird
Like,
stuff.
one of my favorite parts of this movie is
Mm-hmm.
when the other eyebrow guy that has like stuff on his chin that looks like he
Yeah.
spit out something, but he never
Yes.
has. I thought that that was going to be something, but it never is, so it's whatever. But he's captured by the Harkonnens, and the Harkonnens give him a poison. And do you remember where this is going? Okay.
No, go ahead.
So they give him a poison, and Sting walks in, and he has a cat in a cage. And Baron Harkonnen says, "We've given you a poison. Every
Mm-hmm.
day you have to milk this cat to get the antidote." And
Mm-hmm.
then we like zoom in on the cat, and it's a cat that has a rat that's like duct taped to the side of it.
I do remember seeing that and I was like, I don't understand what that is about.
And so it's just like this, it's brought up and it's never talked about again. It's just this
So weird.
weird thing that David Lynch thought would be funny, and it is kind of funny. Like, why? Why?
I was worried. So once I got to that point of the movie, I listened to a lot of it. I didn't watch a lot of it because there was so much gross stuff coming at me every 5 seconds. And I was like, they're going to do something mean to this cat and I can't watch it.
No.
So I didn't watch because I was like, oh no, here's a cat with a rat and he's talking about milking it. Is he going to like poke it with something and have to drink its blood? Like, I can't watch this. So because everything was so bananaramas in this movie, I never knew what to anticipate. And the feeling of dread for me, like,
sure,
you never know when something gross is going to happen. Because he'd like cut from scene to scene so fast. It was like, oh, look, there's a baby in blood. Okay, that was gross. Why did I have to see that?
Well, that's supposed to be the baby in the womb.
I get it, but it was gross. It was gross. It was all covered in blood. And then like when they say, oh yeah, she miscarried it. And then they show them hosing like tissue down the drain. I was like, this is disgusting. I hate this movie.
I agree.
I just, if it made sense, if I could like follow the story, then that would be better. Or if I could anticipate when gross things were going to happen and I could close my eyes like I do with every other horror movie that I am forced to watch, then that would be fine. But instead, I've got this dude who's like cut scene, and you never know what's going to be next. And so I was exhausted. By the time I hit 1 hour in, I was like, I can't watch this. Like, I will sit and listen to it. And if there's a scene that seems innocuous, I'll open my eyes and I'll look at the screen. But otherwise, I'm closing my eyes. It's too much.
That's fair.
Too much. Would you like my gross list? I'm going to give you my scenes that make me want to barf list. Hold on.
And I'll see if I defend any of them. I do defend the cat scene. I think that's funny.
Well, I didn't even know what it was because I closed my eyes. Because I thought they're going to kill that thing. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's going to be something really bad.
They bring it up, and then that character that's forced to milk the cat doesn't show up until the very end, and he doesn't say anything.
It's so useless. Why?
Because it's something that David Lynch thought was kind of funny.
I just don't like it. I don't think it's funny. It makes me... It just is too weird for me.
That's... Okay.
Which is fine. Everyone has different tastes, and that's fine.
Well... That's David. That's David Lynch.
It has the cringy feel that I cannot stand.
Sure.
Where dimensions are off. You know, it's like the Tim Burton thing that we all know that I don't like. When things are just a little bit off, that bothers me a lot. And then you add the weird, and it's so much weird, and then it's so cheesy. Yes. And then it is like cutscene, and then it doesn't make any sense. I can't. Okay, so here are the things that are the barfy parts. It's labeled barfy parts. When Kyle, because I can't remember the name of his character, which I think is now Paul, because I've heard you say it. Yeah. When he puts his hand in the box and his skin starts melting off.
Do we see that?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember we seeing that.
It was disgusting. The boils on the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
When they're taking the needle and they're pulling stuff out of those boils and he's talking and he's like spitting chunks of something. Disgusting. Oh, yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah.
And then whatever the bad guy does to the other guy that was in the room, because I closed my eyes and I don't know what it was, but then I opened my eyes and there was blood everywhere and I was like, glad I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
I don't know what that is. That was like... Because that's something weird with the Harkonnens in this. They all have, like, the inverse mohawks.
Yes, with the thing down the middle.
Yeah. But, like, that guy that he kills, he just, like, is, like, he brings in a flower, and then he's, like, acting really scared for, like, all of that scene.
Yes, that's when I was like, something bad's going to happen. I'm closing my eyes now.
Like, he's anticipating what's going to happen. But then Baron Harkonnen walks in, and then he has, like, a plug on his heart. And then he just, like, takes the plug out. And then, like, just blood I'm like, what? And I think that isn't when Baron Harkonnen says, like, I wish this was Paul. I think it was just like, this is what I'm going to do to all the Atreides. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't like that either.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. When the person was pulling the guy's skin off, Leto, when they were pulling Leto's skin off, it looked like that's what he was. Well, I thought that's what it looked like. And that's why I closed my eyes. He was reaching in after he was dead. Yeah, I thought it was him. Maybe it was somebody else. Like he was reaching in to take his skin off or something. I don't know.
Is
Whatever that was, it was gross.
Was that like after he did the poison tooth thing?
Maybe. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think so.
I don't remember that, but I don't doubt it.
I think. Okay. And then, or the baby in the womb and the miscarriage. Disgusting. The mouth on that creature that you were just talking about that's supposed to be a human. I could not stand it. I could not stand it. The shape of it, the way it moved, the smoke coming out of it, I hated it. There was something about it that just absolutely grossed me out.
Oh yeah, that's gross.
I didn't like it.
I don't know why they look like that. Like that's I think in the book they're just like they're humans, but they have like flippers and gills. They aren't like that's the David Lynch thing.
Okay.
And that tracks. Yeah.
Well, and it's like they kept zooming in on it. I'm like, stop zooming in on it. It's so gross. It's just like there's something about it I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, there were just a lot of parts where people were bloody.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that either. So that's my list of barfy parts. You can see that most of my barfy parts were at the beginning because I closed my eyes for so much of the second half.
That's fair. There's a lot less in the second half. I'll say
good.
that.
Okay.
It's just like you can tell the stuff that David Lynch was really interested in was the Harkonnens. Like that seems to be the area that he was given the most free reign to do like his weirdo stuff. Like there's, I don't know if you even saw this scene. This might have been after you close your eyes, but there's like a cow that's hanging upside down, and then the Dave Bautista character, which it's not Dave Bautista, but it's Dave Bautista in the one. He like rips the cow's tongue off and then like starts eating it. Meanwhile, but like I don't even remember if you see it, but like it's implied that that's what's happening. But like, and then meanwhile, Baron Harkonnen is like spinning around really fast, and Jack Nance is like playing with a knob, and I'm like, this is weirdo David Lynch stuff. I like that. I don't like the cow stuff, but I like when Baron Harkonnen spins around really fast and he's screaming, and then Jack Nance seems to be getting some sort of pleasure out of it. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just all very weird.
Yeah.
I think I've just decided that, like, I either don't get it or it's just not my aesthetic. It is very possible it could be either one.
I don't know.
Like sometimes I'm watching it and I'm like, does anyone else understand this? Or is it just weird for the sake of weird?
Yes.
And I don't like, what I've decided is I don't like weird for the sake of weird.
Yeah.
And especially weird for the sake of weird that is not aesthetically pleasing. If you make it pretty, I can be weird. I can do with a weird if it's pretty. Like if this Dune, the new one, had some weird stuff, I could take it because it's very beautiful to look at. I can appreciate that. But when it is so uncomfortable, like for me to watch because it is so cringy and like just aesthetically so unsettling for me, and then you add the weird on top of it, it's like it's too much. And then blood. Yeah. It's like everything I hate, which is why I told you that I hated your guts for making me watch it, because I was like, this is every single thing I hate in one movie, and it's 2 hours long.
Yeah, I watched it a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, she's really not gonna like this.
Oh boy,
I'm like, it'll make for a fun podcast.
I cannot overstate how much I hate it.
That makes sense. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'll defend some of the weird stuff. Mainly because I think that's like David Lynch's only creative output in this thing. Did you catch his cameo?
No.
Oh.
I don't know that I would recognize him. Like
That
I know
makes
you
sense.
and I, we went and saw the Fablemans, and he showed up in the Fablemans, but that's the only thing I've ever seen him in, and so it was very, very short. I wouldn't recognize him. Where was he at?
So he's in the Spice Harvester when they're like, they're flying around, and like that's the first time you see the worm, and the worm comes up and it bites the thing and then takes it down. He's the one who's be like, hey, we got 26 people here, and it's like so obviously like that's David Lynch's voice, like, and he's like covered in soot, and I'm like, yep. I love that he shows up in some of his stuff because I don't and this is another thing. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of his movies. Like, they
Yeah.
tend to be way too far gone for me.
Uh-huh.
But I love him. Like, he is
Yeah.
such a character, and I just love hearing him talk. So, like,
Yeah.
even in like this limited role where he's like, we got people here. Hey, okay, we're getting ready to leave now. And he has like this doofy little Midwest accent. Like, it's so fun.
Well, I remember you specifically fangirling over him.
Yeah, I did.
When we saw him in The Fabelmans.
I was very
You
excited.
were saying how much you loved him and stuff, and you were like, we got through the whole movie, and you never see him until the very, very end.
Because that was the whole reason I went and saw it.
I know, and it ended up being a really good movie.
Oh, yeah, I loved that movie.
I did too. I thought it was great.
But, like, I might not have saw it if I didn't hear that David Lynch was in it.
I know, you were so pumped about it, because you guys, I think, had just finished watching Twin Peaks.
And he's great in
And
Twin
so it was
Peaks.
fresh. Yeah, it was very fresh for you. So I know you're a fan of him personally.
Yeah.
I know you don't love his work always, but
Not always. I will say
Yeah.
it is kind of fun, like the timing of this, because we're recording this podcast. And over on the Boy Time podcast, we just posted our feature on Mulholland Drive. So I kind of got a
okay.
David Lynch double feature.
you sure did.
Unfortunately, there are 2 David Lynch movies I've already seen,
Oh,
and one of them I hate. So I don't really, it wasn't really a good
how
double
did you
feature.
like? I mean, just give me a basic. Did you like Mulholland Drive?
I liked it
Do you
more
like
this
it?
time.
Okay.
I think I kind of get it, but also I don't know what's going
Just
on.
weird. I got it.
Yes. Well, that movie's interesting, and I won't talk too much on it because I want people to listen to that podcast.
Sure.
But that movie is essentially like split up in 2 parts, and even then, there's like stuff from one part that kind of bleeds into the other part, where it also like kind of makes you question, like, wait, is what happened in the first part also happening in the second part, or are they like 2 different universes? Because that's kind of the impression that I got. Because it's like the 2 main characters, they have 2 different versions, which that's a big David Lynch thing, which I'm glad we didn't get in this because that would have made it even more confusing. Where like in Twin Peaks, there's 3 different versions of one character. Or actually, yeah, well, kind of 4.
Wow.
So
That's
like,
a lot to manage.
yeah, and they're all Cooper. They're all Kyle MacLachlan, which it's great because Kyle MacLachlan's great, but it's very confusing.
Yeah. I could see that.
But yeah, and Mulholland Drive, which we actually talk about Dune a little bit in Mulholland Drive because that's a very anti-Hollywood movie. Where like the first part is very representative of like the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. It's structured very much like a traditional Hollywood movie would be. And then about 45 minutes into the movie, it completely flips on its head and becomes a David Lynch movie. And that's where I get lost.
Got it. Got it.
So, yeah, I love him. Maybe when we're done here, we'll watch the thing where he talks about meeting George Lucas so that maybe you can
Okay.
appreciate him as much as I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And I will implore everybody to watch that clip. It's great. There's also a great clip, and it's just like a second or like whatever, a couple seconds. I'll try to do my best David Lynch impression for it.
I love your David Lynch impression. Go for it.
I think it's like, I don't know if it's behind the scenes for Blue Velvet or something, but he's talking about, he's like, Dune took 3 years to make, start to finish. And it was a nightmare. A nightmare. Like he repeats it. Like, you know, he
He's
feels
reflecting on it.
he had something, like maybe he was going to say
Wow.
something nice or even like try to play like kind of safe or be like not trying to burn too many
Sure.
bridges, but like in that couple seconds of silence you can tell he's just like, it was a nightmare. Like it was like it was the
Cannot
worst experience. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
I'm
funny.
like, oh, I love this
funny.
guy.
Yeah. Well, let me see if I have any other note. I do. Oh, I had some things about. Sorry, I just hit my hit my mic. I wanted to tell you that, well, okay. Sorry. Awards. It was
Yeah,
nominated for an Oscar.
that's crazy. What was it nominated for?
Best sound.
Okay, I have no idea why.
All of those voiceovers, they were just magical. I don't know. I
That's
just, whatever.
crazy.
Yeah, it was nominated for an Oscar, which blows my mind. It won a Saturn Award,
Okay.
which is done by the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films. It won for Best Costumes.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, why are they wearing old-fashioned army uniforms? I don't understand that part at all. That was also very weird to me. Or
Well,
not army,
yeah.
but like they look like generals, you know.
Yeah, the army does wear like those, but I love the still suits. The like suits that have like the little thing that conserve water.
Yeah.
I like the new versions better. I'm on
Mm-hmm.
record in saying that those are maybe some of my favorite costumes in any movie ever. I think they look so cool.
Well, maybe that's what they were nominated for.
Maybe. But
I don't know.
the old ones are still kind of cool, but they're puffy, which I think is meant to like kind of show like there's different like chambers where they store water or whatever. Makes them look less cool, but they're still neat.
Yeah. So they won that one, Best Costumes, but they were also nominated for I can't even say it. Best Film, Makeup, and Special Effects. So they were nominated 4 times. They won for Best Costumes from a Saturn Award. Like,
Okay.
really?
What?
Best Film? That's the best you could do? I don't think so. Okay,
1984?
1984. This was a Saturn Award again, not an Oscar, but
Okay.
yes, for the 1984 one. Then it won a Stinker Award, which I didn't even know there was the name of a thing, but I had to put it down because it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's a Stinker Award for Worst Picture. And the name of the organization it's the Stinkers Bad Movie Award.
That
1984. Yeah, I liked it. I was like, that's perfect.
That is perfect. And it won that?
It won that one for the
Okay.
Worst Picture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that made me feel better.
Do you have what won the Saturn for 1984 for best film?
Oh, shoot. No, but I'll look it up real quick. Shall I?
I'm kind of interested. Yeah.
Yeah, what won for Best Film, Saturn, and yeah, okay, I'll look.
Yeah.
Saturn. So that would have been 1984.
Mm-hmm.
1984. I didn't know if they do it like later, like the
Oh, like that, where it would be like the
Oscars, you know.
1985, whatever. I don't know.
So this would have been the 12th annual Saturn Awards. Most nominations that year was The Gremlins.
Oh, sure.
Jeff Bridges won for Best Actor.
And Tron?
I have no idea. Best Actress was Daryl Hannah, probably for Splash. I'm guessing.
Probably. Well, Tron came out in 82. I don't know what Jeff
Oh,
Bridges,
it did?
I don't know what Jeff Bridges won for.
What was Jeff Bridges in? Oh, gosh. Well, it just took me to his big old page, and that's not helpful because then I'd have to sort through all of his things. It's not even telling me what they were in. It's just telling me what their winners were.
Oh, he
James
was in Starman.
Cameron. Starman?
Oh, that's a John Carpenter movie. Maybe it's that.
Best Science Fiction. This is not good. You need to look it up because the phone version of this is not great.
Okay.
Best horror film, I think, was Gremlins 1. Best science fiction was The Terminator, I think. Maybe.
Yes.
Does that seem right? 1984? Okay.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, okay. I got to tell you. Jeff Bridges was for Starman. And he won. But do you know who he was going against? Our friend George Burns. Oh, God.
I see that. Yeah, I'm looking at the...
Oh, you're looking at it too? Oh, God, you devil. That's the second one.
I like that.
I like it too. John Candy was nominated for Splash. So it must have been Splash. That must have been the Daryl Hannah situation.
Yeah, it looks like... So, best science fiction film, the ones that were nominated were 2010, The Year We Make Contact. I've never heard of that. Dune, Starman and Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock. What one was The
Okay.
Terminator?
Okay.
For Best Fantasy Film, what was nominated was Greystroke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes. Again, never heard of that. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, The Never-Ending Story, Splash. What won? Ghostbusters.
I like a Ghostbusters. I have
Yeah.
to close my eyes in that movie too, but I do like it. I
Oh,
do like it.
Ghostbusters is a perfect comedy.
Yeah, the part at the beginning where Slimer comes out scares me. Or the
The library
no, it's the
ghost.
old lady.
Yeah.
It's the library one. Every time scares the crap out of me. I think about that at night when I'm at the library by myself.
See the books flying from shelf to shelf.
I mean, we swear sometimes weird stuff happens in there. And every night when I'm there by myself, it's like midnight and it's dark. And I'm like, oh gosh, that creepy ghost from Ghostbusters is going to come out and get me. Anyway.
Oh,
Those things like seep into your subconscious and they live there until you're in a situation like that. And then it's like all the worst things you've ever seen about a library come out.
I could see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know if I have anything else to say about Dune. I don't
Yeah.
think it's worth watching unless you're a David Lynch completionist or
Yeah.
you want to like compare it with the new ones. Maybe like watch the new ones first, and if you like that and want to see how you can fumble the bag, watch the David Lynch one.
Or if you want to hate watch something, like
Yeah.
this would be a good hate watch if you were with your friends and you just wanted to like
It would
slam
be
on
good for them.
something.
Yeah.
But it was not for me.
Oh, I don't know if
How-
it's for anyone.
How few stars can I give something on Letterboxd?
Well, the lowest you can give is half a star.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to give it.
Okay.
Is a half star.
I gave it
I
1 star.
hated it. Okay, 1 star. All right. What gave you the extra half star? What was it that you appreciated about it?
I think it was the like weirdo experimental stuff.
Okay.
Because like that's kind of, I mean, and it's not even that I necessarily like it. It's just that I kind of respect that like this was a big blockbuster movie. Like I think it had a budget of $60 million,
Wow.
which may not sound like a lot now, but I think
That's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot for the time for sure. I think Aliens, which came out like 2 years later, had like 19 million,
Whoa.
which like
Yeah.
that movie looks leagues better than this one.
Yeah.
So like it has like this giant budget, it has all of these people attached to it, but like it still takes chances and makes weirdo decisions. Most of them don't work, but I appreciate that they swung. Like that's what I will say. Like I don't know. There's like stuff that like I do kind of appreciate about it, but most of
Okay.
it is terrible.
Yeah.
I will never watch this again, which I'm sure I
Well,
said
I was going to
last
say,
time.
I cannot believe that you have watched it as many times as you have, honestly. I
Twice.
cannot. I mean, yeah, if anybody was ever like, hey, Christy, you could sit with your most favorite person in the entire world and watch this movie, I would say, no, thank you. I appreciate the offer. I will decline. Thank you very much.
What if like it was, hey, we booked a studio room. It's you and Morgan Freeman. And he's going to be making commentary. He's going to be laughing and making jokes and also imparting words of wisdom. Would you watch Dune with Morgan Freeman?
I would listen to Dune with Morgan Freeman.
That's fair.
I would wear a blindfold and sit in the theater and listen to Dune and let Morgan Freeman hate watch it with me, and I will just listen. The visuals are too much for me.
That's
Too much. But
That's
I
fair.
would definitely take advantage of the fact that I could sit next to Morgan and hear his silky voice.
That's a good point. I should
Yeah,
have picked someone that you would have to look at. Not that Morgan Freeman's
Yeah.
an unattractive guy, but
Oh yeah, no, yeah. No, there's no one.
Yeah.
There's no one.
There's-
No one. I cannot overstate how much I hated those
There's like
movies.
no one that you would be able to sit in a room with if they Clockwork Oranged your eyes open.
No. That is another movie I will never, ever, ever watch again. Very similar vibes. It's that cringy, weird, everything's off center sort of thing. It's too much. I watched it in college. I will never, even when I see a still picture, even when I see the book, the cover of the book, it's like it gives me the willies all over again. I can't. No, that is the aesthetic I'm talking about. That it's too much for me.
That's fair.
Which I don't want to be one of those wimpy people who are like, oh, I can't see anything. I don't want to be that, but I am. And as you know, I very rarely express disagreement over things. I tend to try to be pretty agreeable when it comes to like
Movies.
I don't like to like talk badly about something that someone else loves.
Yeah.
I'm not the person who's going to be like, well, I thought it was terrible. I'm never going to be that person.
Yeah.
Unless it's like this. And then it's like, it just is so, it so bothers my sensibilities that I cannot hold it in. I cannot hold it in.
That is
and I
fair.
apologize to anyone who thinks this movie is great or that I don't appreciate it because I'm not sophisticated or, like you're a David Lynch lover and you just are like, Christy has horrible, horrible taste. That is okay. I will take that. I will take it. I will hold it on my shoulders. It will not hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
They can sit right there on my left shoulder, weigh me down. It's fine. I will not budge on this guy. No budging.
Yeah. No, I don't know anybody that would defend this movie. Like I said, there's only like a moderate reappreciation of like the practical stuff. I think Arrow Video did like a new release of this movie, which they do good work. Like doing nice releases of like older movies where they have like a bunch of special features, kind of like Criterion, but not as like prestigious.
Okay.
And so like I think there is like some resurgence around that, just being like, hey, it's a great release. It has a great cover. It kind of made me want to get it, but I'm like, no.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I won't. But like,
Don't
and
do
this came out like 3 years ago or something. It was like right around the time that the first Dune movie came out. They were like, let's re-release the old one. And so there was like some people that were trying to defend it, but I don't think that crowd really exists anymore.
I'll tell you the two things that were aesthetically pleasing to me. The first one, Jessica's eyes were so pretty. She had some of the prettiest eyes I've ever seen. The shape, she had lovely eyebrows, and they kept zooming in on her eyes, and like they just were beautiful. And Sting's body when he was wearing that situation.
That's what you liked?
He looked great.
Well,
like,
yeah.
He'd been working out. He was chiseled. He looked good.
And he's like puffing his chest out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the work that went into trying to have that body. Great. It was very pretty. Very pretty. That was it.
That was it.
Those two things. Her eyes and his bod.
What about the very beginning of the movie, which I can't believe we didn't talk about. But the very beginning of the movie where the lady fades in and then fades out. And then
Oh, yeah,
fades
she's
in
gorgeous.
and fades
That's
out.
Virginia Madsen. Okay, I watched her and I was like, wow, that woman is pretty. And her delivery was great. And I was like, oh, I like her. I thought it was pretty good. Like she had nice emotion in her voice. And then I looked it up and I was like, that's Virginia Madsen. I'm pretty sure she was in the movie Sideways with Paul Giamatti.
Oh.
And Thomas Hayden Church about going wine tasting in the Napa Valley of California, which I read the book and it was a good book. But I don't know that I've seen her in many other things, but she's so young in this. Like I didn't even recognize her. I went out to IMDb and I was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. That's who that is. I thought she was pretty. Didn't you think she was pretty?
No, yeah. But like I'm just saying like that scene's awful. Just the opening of it where it's like just like exposition. And this is
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite part. It's like my favorite worst part, maybe, where it's like she like says all this exposition and then she fades out and then she's
Fades
like,
out.
I
Oh,
forgot to
wait.
tell you, there's more I forgot. I'm like, what do you mean you forgot? You're a
Yes.
disembodied head in space.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, it was a very terrible, a terrible device to use to try to give you the exposition of the background of the story. I
Right.
agree.
They
She
wanted
was
to do
very,
well.
very pretty.
They wanted to do a Star Wars text crawl, but that would be too obvious. So
Too
instead, they had
obvious.
Lady say it.
But she was very pretty, and her delivery of the over exposition was very nice. Her voice was very nice. She was very pretty, and I was like, "Oh, look, her teeth are real." Like now, everybody wears veneers, but she has real teeth. That was nice, but I did not like the sorceress's teeth.
Oh, the
Her
ones that are
teeth were
painted metal.
nasty,
Yeah, they like painted her silver.
nasty teeth.
What about the
Gross.
scary girl?
What scary girl?
Oh, hey, stop
Uh-oh.
that.
Does Ed? Oh, that reminds me, Edna. Okay, you didn't say anything about Linda Hunt.
What?
Oh my goodness. Okay, what character did she play?
I don't know.
She's the short woman.
Oh, I
that
don't
had-
know that character's name.
Okay, do you
I
know
don't-
who she is?
I don't think so.
That beautiful short little woman. She is Edna from The Incredibles.
What? I thought that was Brad Bird.
No, was it?
I think so.
You're right. We did just talk about this. I swear, I thought she was. Why did I think that? Because she looks like her. If you look at that lady, because, okay, she was a judge on the show Picket Fences. I think that was the one. Either that or The Practice. I think it was The Practice. And she had the bob. She had the Edna bob.
Oh.
And she looks so much like her. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
That
Because you're
might
right. We
be.
did just talk about that. That Brad Bird was the voice. Oh my gosh. I wrote Edna! Exclamation mark. But
Oh.
she looks just like her.
Linda. Oh, yeah, she does.
Linda Hunt.
Holy cow. I just looked her up.
Mm-hmm.
She's still
She
alive.
looks just like her. She is awesome. She
her.
was so awesome. Was it in The Practice? Was that the show? I think it was The Practice. She played a judge, and she was fabulous. She was sassy.
Yeah.
We're going to have to find a scene of her when we go out to watch that other thing, because she is just like the sassy judge who's like a straight shooter. She's this little teeny tiny woman in the judge sitting up on the judge's bench, and she didn't let anybody push her around, and I love her. But she looks just like Edna. That's probably where I got it. Because I was like, dang, okay, you're right. Anyway, Edna barking made me think of that. I was like, we never talked about Linda Hunt. I was so excited to see her.
Her character's name is Shout Out Mapes.
Okay, well, sure. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Apparently,
so was
she's
Edna
in the new one.
was Edna letting you know that she has to go? Was that what she was barking about?
No, there was, I don't know, something outside.
Oh, okay. She's in the new Dune?
No, her
Oh.
character apparently was, but I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, she's a treasure. I don't know if she's still working or not, but she is a treasure. And it
I
was
don't
very
know.
fun to see her. A young her. I'd not seen her before.
Oh,
What?
She's the.
You have why?
Well, I just found out that she is also the narrator in the God of War video game series, which I did not know, and that's kind of fun.
Wow. Oh, she's great.
Yeah, it
Oh,
looks
that
like
makes me happy for her.
looks like. Oh, this is coming full circle. But the last thing that she was in was in 2018. She was in Solo, a Star Wars story.
She was.
Well, apparently it was just a
Aw.
voice. I wonder if there was some creature or something that she did the voice
Yeah.
for. But
Oh, she's
was
so
in it?
great.
yeah,
I love it. That makes me happy.
that's kind of
Oh,
cool.
Linda. Sorry I misidentified you, Linda, but you do kind of look like Edna a little bit.
She does.
I know. She really does. It kind of made me think they modeled her off of it. I mean, it was so much so
Maybe.
that I was like, she was immediately who came to mind the first time I saw that character.
Anyway,
Anyway.
it's pretty striking.
I think so too. I agree.
So that's it for Dune.
Yes.
No more talking about Dune.
No more
That's it.
Dune.
That's
Never.
the last time
Never.
I'm ever going to watch
I
that
don't
movie.
want to talk about Dune at Thanksgiving when we get together. I don't want to talk about Dune at Christmas when we get together. I don't want to talk about Dune any other time we get together. Dune is now wiped from my memory.
Well, this
except for
version
things
of
that
Dune.
will forever be seared in there. But it's fine. Okay. So
This-
we're going to go from one of the least likable movies I've ever seen in my whole life. What were you going to say?
I was trying to say this version of Dune.
Okay, yeah.
Because
I do
the
like
other ones are good.
Yes, I agree. I like the other one. Oh, the one that I saw I liked. Okay. So we're going from bad movie to one of the most likable movies, in my opinion.
Oh.
And I don't think you've seen it.
Okay.
And I haven't seen it in a long time. But I would like to watch Legally Blonde.
I have never seen this.
And it has Jennifer Coolidge in it. And I love Jennifer Coolidge. I
that
love her
also-
very, very much.
Is that Reese Witherspoon?
Reese Witherspoon is in it. Selma Blair is in it.
Okay.
Do you know Selma Blair? I love Selma Blair. It's fabulous. It is a fabulous, fabulous movie. And there's a cute little chihuahua. Oh, we didn't talk about all the bulldogs in Dune. They were cute.
Oh, we didn't
And
talk
the
about the pug.
pug.
We didn't talk about that's the biggest crime I think that we've ever
The
committed.
pug.
Did you
That pug's cute.
you noticed that Patrick Stewart was taking the pug into battle, right?
No, because I had my eyes closed, remembered? I had my eyes closed. He took the pug in. Did the
It's-
pug die?
I don't know. They don't show.
Oh.
So this is the most confusing thing. Because for some reason, the Atreides has this cute little pug. And it
Yes.
sometimes walks around. And for some weird reason, like it cuts from the pug is like running out of the palace when the Harkonnens are attacking. And then Patrick Stewart is like leading the army in the charge. And for some reason, he's like holding his like sword in one hand, and then he has the pug in his arm, and he's like, "Long live Leto Atreides!" And then they like charge, and he's just holding the dog. It's like this, like I think it's like a pretty famous like screen grab where it's like just Patrick Stewart and a pug charging
Yeah.
into the battlefield. I don't think it like cuts to like him running. I think it's just for that one scene where he's just like, "Long live the guy."
Oh my gosh.
I can't
Wow.
believe we
Okay.
didn't talk about that. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
that's
thought the
funny.
pug was cute. I liked when they were sitting there and the dog was just sitting. And then there was a scene where there were a bunch of bulldogs where they
Yeah.
were all on leashes. That made me happy. That made me think of Edna.
Yeah.
So anyway, those were the two things I liked. Anyway, there's a really cute chihuahua in Legally Blonde. I really hope you like it. It's a very likable movie, and I'm excited to see something that's just going to make me feel good after watching that train wreck. So I was debating, like, what should I do? I have this giant list of things. And then I was like, I need some pink in my life.
Yeah, what do
That's
you
what I need is pink.
What do you follow Dune up with? That's a really good. That was a
Legally
hard-
Blonde is the
That
answer.
was a hard predicament you were in.
It's a palate cleanser. That's what, it's like when I read and I read something really heavy, you know, and it's like I'm very much a mood reader, so it's like I'll read something really heavy and that's I need something that is cotton candy, which is what I'm reading right now as well. I need something light and fluffy, and then I can go back to the heavy stuff. And I feel like that is what I'm in need of when it comes to our movies. And so we are going Legally Blonde with my friend Reese Witherspoon and her good friend Jennifer Coolidge. Fantastic movie. I hope you love it.
Okay, I guess we'll see next time on the
Yeah.
Love to Mom podcast.
I promise you won't have to close your eyes.
I don't know if I've closed my eyes for any movie that we've watched so far.
Well, you're doing better than me.
Okay.
Because I think I have my eyes closed even when we watched one of the Studio Ghibli movies.
Oh, and Princess Mononoke for sure.
Yeah, with the gross eyeballs.
But did
Anyway.
you do that with Spirited Away?
Although there was, yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I think I did. Because wasn't there something with the dragon that was kind of gross
Oh,
that I had to close my eyes
the
for?
dragon,
Yeah.
like it gets all cut up.
Yeah, that part. But no, anyway, it's fine. This will be great. You're gonna love it.
I hope so.
I hope you like it. I don't know. It's very enjoyable.
I guess we'll see. Anything's possible.
Edna wants to be on the podcast.
She does.
I love that dog.
I think she.
Have you
Oh,
done the DNA test yet?
it hasn't come back yet. It takes 2 to 3
Okay.
weeks, and I heard
Okay.
back about a week ago that they got it.
Okay. I
I'll
can't
report
wait.
live what she
Yes. Well,
is.
we can't figure it out. One vet said one thing, then the new vet said something different. And I just am so curious. So I spent the big bucks and sent a DNA kit to Jerry so that he could find out about our sweet Edna.
Yeah, yeah. The new vet was like, she might be a pocket pit, but then I was looking at like pit bulls in general, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't really have the wrinkly face that she does.
Mm,
And I'm like, that's pretty decidedly bulldog. Like especially
yeah.
like around the nose, like it's all
Mm,
bunched up, and then she has like the jowly cheeks. I'm like, that's like pure bulldog. That isn't really pit
yeah.
bull.
It's
So I don't
English
know.
bulldog. That's she looks like an English bulldog, I think, with something else, but I don't know what the other part is. That's what I'm very curious about. She's built like a tank, like an English bulldog.
She is.
Yeah. She's so cute. Her feet are enormous. She's adorable.
She oh, she's looking up at me. Okay. She might need to
Okay.
go.
Yeah, we don't want an accident.
But yeah, I think next time Legally Blonde. After that, who
Yeah.
knows? But
Okay.
that's all I have to say.
Okay. That's all I have to say too, except support your local library and call your mom.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.